and welcome. Today I have a piece in my envelope journal, and you may recall that when I have excess ink on a stencil or somewhere, I lay it down in this journal that I've prepped, and it's got book pages that are covered with gesso, and I just lay ink down. This page has got some yellows and oranges, and I actually also have already laid down a strip on each side of a jelly print. And so that's where I'm starting. And I have this paper doll from Tim Holtz. It's, I think, from the Solos pack. And I'm just adding some collage medium just to take the shine off her. They come pretty glossy, and so the matte medium will just knock that shine down a little bit, and it will also prep it for any color I want to add with some distress crayons, which I will be doing. So I get rid of any excess collage medium, and then I just start adding collage pieces. And I've kind of got a plan here, which isn't always the case, but I think I know what I'm doing, but things can change. So I have this little pocket card. You've seen me use them before. I just really like them because they add a lot to a page very simply and quickly. And often they have like where it looks like there was some old tape on it, and so I usually just cover that up with some of my tape that I've made to look old, and so that's what I did right there. And this piece is a scrap I had left over from a tag I made, and it is just cardstock layered with some distress ink in the background, and then on top of that I collaged a piece of the collage paper from the pallet group, and it's like a tissue paper that you just put on with collage medium. So that was kind of a scrap that was left over, so you didn't get to see me. Well, if you watch the other video, you will see me make that. And all this stuff is pretty thick, so I'm laying it down with some liquid glue. And I don't know if you are going to be able to tell or not, but I have on the background, before I'm gluing anything on, actually before I even started this piece, I had added some embossing with, well, it was actually texture paste. I added some snowfall texture paste through a stencil, but you got to get pretty close up to see it, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it maybe at the end with a close-up, but it didn't really add a whole lot, so you could definitely do without it. And anyway, so now I'm gluing down my collage pieces. I will tell you a little bit about that jelly print. I have always previously done my jelly prints with acrylic paints, and I've started recently using distress inks to do some jelly prints, and I really kind of like how vivid the color is and how easy it is to work with. And this jelly print right here was made with distress inks and a stencil, and I thought it turned out very well. You'll probably be seeing some more of those prints that I made coming up. So my paper doll is dry, and I'm going to be coloring her dress blue, and I'm just looking at which blue I want to use. I believe I end up with Mermaid Lagoon, the one laying there, yeah. And I just kind of scribble it on, and then I take my finger and just spread it around. And once that's dry, that is permanent. But if you don't let it dry, it would come off with, if it got wet. And you can layer it on. You could add more layers. But I just wanted a subtle blue. And as you can tell, you don't need a whole lot. I'm just kind of putting little bits of it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of color to her face and her hands. And I'm using the color Worn lipstick with that. And you notice I'm wiping my finger off, because if I still have blue on my hands, her face will be kind of pinkish blue. And you can tell automatically the difference. Makes a big difference. And she is sitting, so I kind of want her to be sitting on something. So I have this little scrap piece of paper, and I kind of just anchor it as a ledge or a bar or something that she might be sitting on. So I glue that down first. Oh, here I'm giving it a little bit of distress ink around the edges just to kind of age that paper. And that was just a scrap of something. I tend to keep my scraps. I have a whole bin, actually a couple bins of scraps, depending on what kind of scrap it is. And she is just going to kind of sit right on that ledge right there. And then I decided that I'd add this little tag here. I think it says florist or something on it. It's a piece of ephemera. I'm thinking it's from the Snippets pack. Then I also add that little circle, and that's just I used a circle punch from a digital printout I had. I thought the colors went pretty good, and it's just a scrap, and I love to just add little scraps of things. And now for the other side, I have a larger size of the pocket cards. When you get a pack of those, I think it's 3 different sizes. You get the small one, which I used on the left. This is, I think, the largest, or maybe the left's the medium. I think that one might be the, unless there's one larger. I'm not sure. I know my tags, I can use the largest one to pretty much cover up a tag. And I kind of put it right over as close to the edge as I felt was safe. And again, here I'm adding some of my tape over top the where it looks like they have had tape, and then a little bit more even where it doesn't, just so it kind of looks like it goes together with the other side. I think you end up not really seeing that in the end anyways though. And this piece here I think is from the collage tile pack from Tim Holtz. I mean, his ephemera packs make it pretty easy to collage, but you certainly don't have to buy them. You can go through your magazines, catalogs, your mail, old books, whatever you have on hand. Just use what you got. And then maybe once in a while splurge and buy you some ephemera packs. You can even buy downloads, and then you can print them again and again and again. I like to do that, especially if you like certain things, like I like birds and butterflies. I may buy a download with those, and then I can use them over and over, print them. That 2/6 piece I think is from the snippets pack. The butterflies from Field Notes. And I had one little scrap left of when I was making that tag with the palette paper, collage paper. And so I thought I would just stick it up there with my collage medium. I use scraps all the time. And this is from the number strips, one of my favorite ephemera packs. Here I'm finally gluing down that butterfly. sentiment. And it says, let life surprise you. And that is the last thing I do. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love for you to take the journey with me, and it's free. But have a great day.